Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to welcome y'all to the Allie Brooke Show. Thank you. This is awesome. So I feel like, in interviews and on social media, you can only get to know someone so much. And I feel like this is such a great way to show my personality more. I want to get to know y'all more and better. And I'm going to have so many awesome guests and so many fun conversations, real moments, raw moments, vulnerable moments. And I feel like this is just an awesome way for y'all to get to know me. Low key, you should really get to know me. I had to do it, guys. But this is so new for me. Like, honestly, I love being on stage. I love doing my thing. I love being interviewed and all that. But this time, the roles are reversed, and I'm the one who's, talking and then also interviewing people. So it's really cool to be in that position, and then also just to have fun with you guys, show more of who I am, and have a blast in a way that I haven't been able to before. And it's sometimes a challenge for me to open up and be vulnerable. And I feel like this show gives me the opportunity to finally just, again, be myself and show you guys who I really am in a way that's different than a music video or on stage or social media. So I promise you guys, we're going to have so much fun. There's going to be a lot of crazy moments here, and it's going to be amazing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Fifth Harmony. As you guys know, I'm sure, I was part of the girl group Fifth Harmony, and we took over the world. We took the music industry and the entertainment industry by storm. And it's crazy, like, for me, looking back at that, I guess I sometimes don't even realize how big we were, because I guess if you're part of something like that, you can't really grasp, because your life's moving at a million miles a minute. But yeah, it was such a whirlwind. And, I'm definitely going to say how proud I am of Fifth Harmony, how proud I am of my work in Fifth Harmony, of what we did for music, what we did for girls, what we did for female empowerment, what we did for girl groups. That is pretty crazy to me, to think that I was part of something so big, and we will be in the history books, y'all. That's pretty incredible. And I am, of course, we had hits, we had such anthems and great songs. So I want to say that. But, just being honest, because I feel like, having my own show calls for me to just be real, and open with you guys. And I know I'm safe with y'all. And I want to be as respectful as possible to myself as well. But I hate saying this. My time in Fifth Harmony, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't love it. It was hard because there was so much going on, so much behind the scenes, so much toxicity, so much abuse of power, so much mental abuse, verbal abuse. And it's just horrible. And to me, it's a shame, because we were so big. I should have enjoyed myself more. I did so much for the group. I'll never forget, Simon told me when we first got formed on X Factor, when the cameras were off, he told me, "You're the glue that holds this group together." And I couldn't have ever have imagined how true that would be. And, I was that mom. I tried to keep us together and to keep us as a unit and all these things. But it was very, very, very hard and a very, very tough experience. And it was hard for many, many reasons. It was tough because I didn't trust, anybody around me, and a lot of people that were in our circle. And it really damaged me for quite some time and for quite a lot. And I don't want to hang on to the negative. But I have to be honest, and I want to commend, a lot of artists out there who are speaking out against their situations. I know how hard that is. I'm barely speaking out. And I know when you do, it's so liberating. And I want to just tell the fans that, again, I'm so proud to have been there. I'm so thankful for Fifth Harmony. Fifth Harmony changed my life. I got to see the world, meet people who completely changed my life and my world and the direction of my career and path and all that. And I got to meet so many amazing friends. Got to meet all these, some of our some of our favorite artists. And, we performed in arenas, and we performed in stadiums, and we performed in front of hundreds of thousands of people. And man, we did so much. And it's crazy because some of those things I'm like, oh my gosh, we actually did that. And we did that, and we did that. And oh yeah, we performed the AMAs. And oh yeah, we won all these awards. And we did this collab with this person. We did this show. We did this cover that we slayed. So many things. But that's kind of I don't know how to say it, guys, but it's kind of the weird balance. It's a balance of being grateful, but also being okay with the fact that things were not okay for me, and I took a lot. Me personally, it was traumatizing, and some things I'm comfortable sharing and I'm comfortable talking about, but some things I'm still not yet ready. But the reason why I'm saying this is because, again, I feel safe with y'all, and I'm learning at getting more comfortable. I'm getting more comfortable with learning how to open up about my experiences in this industry and in Fifth Harmony. And I just feel like it's just best to just be honest. And yeah, I don't want to hang on this negativity or whatever too long. But that being said,
share, I know we all have there are some fun moments.
Yeah, bless you. No, it's okay.
There's some fun
moments.
I know.
And so that is hard. That is hard to balance, kind of that the sensation of, oh my gosh, I was part of the biggest girl group in the world, and we did so much. We traveled the world. We sold millions of records. We have so many plaques. I have plaques in my house with Fifth Harmony. And man, we just did so much, but also balancing, sometimes I don't like looking back at that time. I'll look at a music video and all I'll remember is how I felt that day, how I felt super insecure, or how I felt let down, or I felt like I wasn't good enough, and people around me told me that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't cool enough, I wasn't valued, nobody cared about me. It was awful, but I also try to remember, the good times of being in Brazil and seeing people. So all of our fans chase us down and thousands of thousands kind of almost stampede us, and going to Japan and Mexico.
You remember when
and
you were chased around Milan, Italy? That was crazy. But the fans,
yes,
that was one of my all-time moments.
This show is brought to you by our new sponsor, Betterhelp. We try our hardest to take care of our bodies, but what about our minds? Without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace is hard. The good news is therapy works. I can attest to that because, man, therapy has really changed my life. being able to talk to someone about my problems or my anxieties or things that I'm overwhelmed with, it completely changes the game for me. It changes my daily activity. It changes the way I look at myself, the way I look at the world. It's amazing. When so many people are battling depression and anxiety, or their stress is too much to manage, they have postpartum depression, PTSD, and the list goes on. Easy online therapy is available to get some tools that help make life easier. I decided to get help because, again, for me, knowing that sometimes dealing with everyday problems, big or small, can really impact my overall health and my life and my mental health. I talk about it all the time, about how therapy is great for me, how it has really changed the way I look at life, the way I look at problems, the way I look at stress. Oh my gosh, I recommend therapy for everybody out there, whether you're going through something that is, very, very hard or some past trauma, or whether it's just, daily stress. And therapy is for everyone. Betterhelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist within 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. This podcast is sponsored by Betterhelp, and the Allie Brooke Show listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Allie. That's BETTERHELP.com/Allie. ALLY. Oh yeah, I was full on chase. I remember what I was wearing. It was like a sundress with a hat. I remember. And with like knee-high socks. I have a really good memory, y'all. Sometimes that comes to my advantage. Sometimes, oh my gosh, I wish I didn't remember some things.
I don't. What kicked it off though? We weren't.
I don't know. I think we were at some cathedral, right?
Yeah.
And people just started recognizing us, and then we got chased down.
Dive into a cab or something.
Oh yeah, it was like crazy. See, that is like moments like that. You're like, those are pinch me moments. And man, I mean, we have a million of those stories, and that was super cool, and like hanging out with the 1D boys.
Oh yeah.
Man, that was super, super fun. I remember
they were supportive. I remember they would like roll up just when you would do something in London. Like those guys just came out. Like they'd roll up to the sound stages with beers. Like just.
Oh
like,
yeah.
They were chill.
And like, who doesn't love 1D, man? And it's kind of eerily crazy how similar their story is to ours. We got formed on X Factor. They got formed on X Factor. I think. Did they won third place? We won third place.
Really? That'd be crazy if that was true.
Look that up. Look that up really quickly. I think. Or did they win? Just look, X Factor third place. I don't know. Maybe
that would be crazy with the threes that they came in third. December 2010. Okay, so now I'm gonna get kind of how I am with my conspiracies.
Will. We literally December 2012. Bam,
okay, so let me just get this straight. Simon, you got to give Simon his respect here. He puts together One Direction on X Factor. They come in third. Then the same month, just a couple years later, you come in third. That's crazy.
December 2012.
Makes you wonder.
And the crazy part is too, I remember specifically way before X Factor, when That's What Makes You Beautiful came out and was like the #1 song. Everybody had it everywhere. I remember I was doing, I think, a church graduation or something, and that was like the theme of the of that time, of that year. And who would have known that all those worlds would have collided? Literally, that was, again, before X Factor was even brought to my attention, to my mind. And I was at that crossroads, 18 years old, and at my church graduation thing, I think it was a graduation dinner, and that song was exploding. I was on the 1D train, and man, I mean, then moments later, I was on X Factor, and the same thing happened to me that happened to them in a way. I mean, of course, 1D's like, oh my gosh, they're a whole nother level, man.
Y'all were right
Those songs,
there.
there should be a whole episode dedicated to 1D. And the craziest part is that they were so cool with us. And I remember we were in, I want to say like London. Yes, I think it was London. And they came to our hotel and we like hung out at the
Many times.
bar or something.
Yeah. Hung out, went to club. Like they couldn't have been cooler.
Oh yeah, the club.
Remember
Dude, that was another
weird
time.
Club. Well, that was
Man.
Remember you had like the paparazzi on motorcycles following? They took us to that weird club.
It was like a clown club, something like
weird.
that.
I was like, yo, I told the security, I'm like, you guys got this? I'm out.
Oh, I remember you were like, yo, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But it was so cool because those guys, I mean, being a fan of them, loving their music, having so many memories to their music and going to their shows and all that, we would be able to, you know, obviously see them and then have them like hang with us and be super cool. I mean, that was a moment in time for sure. So again, there's definitely some fun moments there that I remember and that I'm like, whoa, pinch me. But, you know, it's hard balancing that. And it's a shame. I really wish that I could have kind of enjoyed it more and wouldn't have had to worry about all the things that I worried about. But
I was thinking
I
about
tried.
It, like,
it's like a balance.
It's honestly like I was doing my run because it'll pop up in my head. You know, it's impossible for it not to. But I was like, you know what? It's just sad. That's what kind of sticks with me, you know? So I know I can relate to you when you say, like, when you try and think back on it and all you get is like that bummed out
That
feeling because it changed
gut-wrenching.
my life too. You know that in many different ways. But then I'm like, it'll pop in my head. And that came to me like the other day. I was just like, dang, like now I'm bummed. Like just trying.
Right? Because it's like you couldn't even really enjoy those moments. And it's sad. I got a lot of things robbed from me. But again, like I've tried this whole time, you know, of course, even after Fifth Harmony broke up, to be as you know, respectful and not really say, you know, anything, just kind of be as positive as possible and real as possible, without saying, you know, too much. Even in my book, I write from my heart everything, and being in Fifth Harmony and what led to that. And maybe a lot of y'all don't know, but I came out to LA when I was 12 with my parents, back and forth. And that was a whole journey in itself. I really hustled and grinded, and really fought for my dreams at such a young age. I sacrificed so much, and so did my parents. And man, there's so much that I went through there that I'm sure we'll be able to talk about another time, because that's, again, a whole nother story in itself. But basically years and years and years and years of dreaming, of crying, of praying, of like almost moments. And then, you know, I was at a crossroads. What am I going to do with my life? It's, you know, am I going to college? Am I, you know I'm going to continue music, but how am I going to do it? You know, things are a little slower than I thought right now. And then bam, X Factor comes along and it's crazy. It's crazy. And then Fifth Harmony was born and happened. And speaking of my book, it's called Finding Your Harmony. For those of y'all watching, y'all can get it at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, wherever books are sold. Please tweet me, because that's a very special book to me. And it's a lot more than just, you know, Fifth Harmony. It's a lot of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stories about my faith and my personality and all that. But, you know, one of the...
Because it came out in Brazil a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And they have been
Oh, my
amazing.
gosh.
Yeah.
I do have to give a special shout out to Brazil. You guys are beyond incredible.
You made that happen.
You made that happen. I know you guys are going through a lot right now, and I'm so sorry, and I love you, and I'm praying for you, and I hope that my book can be a source of inspiration and light and love to you. And I really, really hope that, and I hope that it can bring you a lot of hope. But I want to thank you, because Brazil, you supported my book above and beyond. I've seen your messages, your tweets, your DMs. It is so beautiful how my book has impacted you, how it's touched you, how it's strengthened your faith, how it's given you hope. That is my goal with that book, is that it would bring you that joy and that light. So thank you guys. You go so hard for everything that I do, but I saw the turnout of support for my book, and I cannot thank you enough. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Seriously. It's so awesome. Oh my goodness, guys. I cannot tell you how many times Green Chef has saved the day for me. I have learned to cook so many awesome new recipes without ever having to leave my house and having to go get extra ingredients. And y'all know that I love to cook. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company. Enjoy clean ingredients you can trust, seasonally sourced for peak freshness. Ingredients come pre-measured, perfectly portioned, and mostly prepped so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying delicious home-cooked meals. Green Chef makes eating well easy and affordable with plans to fit every lifestyle. Whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, or just looking to eat healthier, there's a range of recipes to suit any diet or preference. I love cooking with Green Chef because for me, it makes it so much easier in the kitchen. I got everything and I just put it in a pot or a pan and oof, mama makes some good old dinner or lunch or whatever. Go to greenchef.com/90alleybrooke and use our code 90alleybrooke to get $90 off your order, including free shipping. Again, it's greenchef.com/90alleybrooke and use our code 90alleybrooke to get $90 off your order plus free shipping. That's 908LLYBROOKE. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Yes, so some of the things that I did open up about in my book was a few topics that go beyond what I talked about earlier. But, I had a lot of insecurity with my body. I feel like that was before a wave of like body positivity happened. People said I was like the big one of the group or the fat one, and I was fat and all these things. And especially in one moment where we were shooting a music video, we were in bathing suits and I was just I didn't feel at my best. And then there were paparazzi pictures that came out and people made fun of me so much and it was horrible. And that's the kind of stuff is just one of the examples of what went on. And of course that destroyed, my confidence. And again, context of there wasn't a lot of like body positivity out there. That was before all these kind of artists and celebrities. And people were really championing that. And it makes me so sad. It really, I hate going back to that place. I hated writing about this in the book because it's hard, to go back to those dark moments. But, you guys, a lot of the fans came to my support and my defense, and that was amazing to me. Also, another thing that was not fun was losing my identity. It was very hard being in a group, and it at times it definitely felt competitive and, not being able to have a lot of singing parts for the beginning of our career as Fifth Harmony on X Factor. And then, dealing with that, dealing with the expectations and then the reality that wasn't the case. Later on, it did get better, which was awesome. And in some moments, there were moments for me to kind of, shine and feel like I could contribute. But that was really, really hard. That takes a toll on your confidence. And especially, I had worked so hard to pursue a solo career, and I wasn't wanting to be, front and center or anything, but just to kind of have a little bit more love on the songs. I actually wanted that for everybody, but that didn't really work out.
I just think it's so crazy that you had to go through that. Like, I remember, and again, I don't know if you want to share it, but like I remember specifically, like you guys would get sent demos, right? And then it was basically, here, girls,
just fight for your lives. That's what it felt like.
I remember one because I was with you when you guys were recording. Like, there's one song, and I think we were just having lunch one day, and you were really excited because you got this song called "Not That Kind of Girl." And I remember, like, you're like, Will, like, you're like, the song is so me. It's like 80s disco. We're like eating or something. I'm like, that's awesome, Allie. Like, at the time, I didn't know how your recording thing worked. So I was like, oh, that's fun. And I remember, like, you were practicing and practicing and practicing. And then I also remember when you got the cut back, I guess, weeks later, and you didn't get the parts you wanted, and you were so crushed. And at
many,
that point,
many
I think I realized, I just remember that song because I was around for that
That
one.
was a freaking killer song.
But I
man.
was like, how sad, like this girl, like anybody, like you said, you fought for it. Like, what a weird way to like cut music.
Yeah, it was an interesting system. There was no like there's no real system, but it just felt very just competitive. And you know, I didn't want to record like that. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be better for all of us. I always was the one who fought for that. And you know, it was respected sometimes and it wasn't, and that's what really just took a toll. But I had to deal with that. And then also, you know, being at home, you know, you see your family and stuff, and obviously you want to show that you're part of something, you know. And it was tough for me because I just remember, you know, my parents and my family were just as sad for me, you know, because they're like on the same page of like, you know, being a group and being together and everybody kind of having their moments. And it wasn't like that. And especially I really like, I got the least parts in the beginning, and it was really, really challenging. And to go from, oh, I'm, you know, on the show, on X Factor, and then even before that, oh, I'm doing a solo career, to being in a group and then not
Well, I'm sure it could
being
be
able to.
embarrassing in a way.
It was embarrassing, yes. And yeah, it was embarrassing because you go home and like, you know, people would talk and my family would be really sad for me. And it was hard, and I have to go and perform. And it was obvious that I wasn't performing.
You don't have a part. You guys aren't like a heavy choreo group, or at least you can go do something, you know, like you're literally just.
It was
there.
tough, you know, and I really like, I again want to make it clear to the fans. I don't want it to come across as I'm complaining or being negative or anything, but I'm just being real with you guys about my experience. And of course, I always try to honor Fifth Harmony wherever I can. And there are moments where I do feel strong to look back and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm proud of that group. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of what I contributed and all the hard work, all the labor, you know, of love that I did. I'm going to freaking go and do this and sing the song again or perform it or, you know, post a funny video of it on social media because, you know, we were that group and the fans deserve that. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I hope you understand that mentally and emotionally, you know, it's hard because it wasn't perfect. It wasn't fun. It wasn't healthy. I think that's the number one thing. It wasn't healthy. And I lost my identity. And also there was such inappropriateness too within the label, talking to us a certain way, talking to me a certain way, making me feel uncomfortable, making me feel inferior, and knowing that they could make me feel that way. I think because I was a woman, and then also the label tried to attack my faith and stuff like that. That was really hard. And, you know, I just had to every day hold my head up high and keep it together. And it was very, very tough, but thank God I did it. And also there was a moment where the group was going through a lot. We were breaking, you know, behind the scenes. And I tried to go and ask for outside help. You know, I asked my parents for their advice. And the person that I asked for advice, he tried to take advantage of me, and he showed up to a meeting that I had. I remember talking to him. I remember this conversation too, like it was yesterday. Like, sir, you know, we need a lot of help. I'm not sure where to go. You know, can you please help us? It's like, oh yeah, of course. Don't worry, I got you. I show up to meet with him, and he gives me a freaking thong, which is very inappropriate because I know what he was trying to do there, and I was humiliated. One, I'm going to him super vulnerable and exposed and like, please help me. Please help us. And I think, oh, this guy's going to help. No, he does that. And at the time, you know, that kind of behavior was accepted. Like, oh, that's just so-and-so to be like this. That's just so-and-so to do this. And so, of course, I'm humiliated. I feel, even though it wasn't my fault, I felt ashamed for being there, for just being in front of this person, and I still had to ask him for advice. It was a lot to balance emotionally.
In New York, I remember we were at the London Hotel. That was our spot. and you told me like, oh, I'm gonna go. You were so excited, like, and you're right. You just said people say, oh, that's just so and so. You know, like I wish you would have let me handle that.
I didn't tell anybody about that instance, but I heard stuff before because this
Right.
person would try to say little things to me.
He had a
and
rep. He had a reputation.
Had a reputation, yes. And, you know, people would just accept it and nobody would want to talk about it because they were scared of being blackballed, of being fired, of being treated a certain way. I know how that feels. It's very scary.
Yeah, and
knowing that if
this
you
is real. They do
this
that
is real.
stuff. Like
people do that. It's not just those type of people, but people in the industry. If they don't like you, or if they want to affect you in your career, they'll try anything. It's very sad. That's why you just have to protect yourself, watch yourself, know who you are, stay grounded, and surround yourself with good people and a good team. And that's why I'm so thankful I survived that period in my life. And again, I take the blessings with Fifth Harmony and the lessons, because I learned a lot of lessons. And I hope by me sharing my story that I can help someone else to speak out, to speak up, to maybe be alert and be aware and know that there's a better way to get things done. There's a better way to live and to thrive in this industry. And we as women especially, we deserve our respect. And there is protection. There's things that you can do out there to protect yourself. So I hope that through my experience, someone else can be helped. And again, I'm trying to talk as gracefully as possible. And some things I'm opening up about, some things I'm choosing to, not open up yet because I'm not ready. But that gives a little context of what I went through in Fifth Harmony, what it was like for Allie. And again, taking the positives where I can, and the lessons. And now being out of Fifth Harmony, I'm here in my solo realm, in my solo being, and I am happier than I've ever been. I'm surrounded by the most wonderful people who love me, who protect me, who fight for me, and who just want me to live out my dreams.
I'm really excited for you, for your team right now.
I'm sweating. Like, I don't even know if I'm ready to share all this, but I'm sweating because
I'm just happy for you because I know
it's a lot for me.
Yeah, I know I know this is your dream. I know who's working for you, and like you've got I'm really happy for you.
Thank you so much. It's there's so many lessons here, and another lesson that I want to share with you guys is that sometimes it is darkest before dawn. Sometimes you do have to endure a season. Sometimes you have to be on your knees every day and pray and get that strength inside of yourself to survive and pray for that light at that end of the tunnel. And I promise you, if you persevere, if you keep your head up high, if you keep on going, you will one day be where you've always dreamt of. And I promise, sometimes the darkest moments, the storms, it's just a season, and you've got to hold on. Take it from me as someone who's lived a lot of life in my short time and who really did feel truly helpless in these moments. I was so lost. I was so sad. I was so just dark. I don't like thinking about it. I was so hopeless. When you get to that point where you feel like hope is gone, it is a horrible, dark place to be. But I just want to speak to somebody out there. I know somebody is feeling like I felt. Please hold on. Please hang on. And know that you will see that rising sun again. Please take it from me as someone who's seen the sunrise more times than I ever imagined. Keep on going and keep that faith. And I'm here right for you, rooting you on. 2021 is a year of new beginnings for me, and something I wanted to do is learn some new skills. My awesome sponsor, Skillshare, provided me with an opportunity to really explore my creativity. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. Skillshare offers classes in all kinds of creative fields. You can take classes in illustration, design, music, photography, writing. The possibilities are endless because they offer thousands of classes. They offer an amazing course on YouTube success with Marquise Brownlee. You learn how to set goals for your YouTube content and properly execute those goals. But if YouTube isn't your thing, you can take all kinds of other classes. Practice makes progress. Advancing toward a goal is achievable with short lessons and hands-on projects. Do something today that you couldn't do yesterday with classes designed for real life. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially compared to pricey in-person classes and workshops. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. Explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/Allie and get a free trial of their premium membership. That's Skillshare.com/Allie. Be sure to use my code at Skillshare.com/Allie. ALLY. So, my book is called Finding Your Harmony. Dream big, have faith, and achieve more than you can imagine. That is my story. Anybody who picks it up, I'm so grateful to you. There's so much in there. Of course, about, fifth harmony and success and all that, but about family, about love, about reconciliation, about second chances, about miracles. There's so much in there, guys. So I hope it blesses you. I really do. But guys, writing this book, writing a book, I'm telling you, y'all, is not for the faint of heart. And I mean that like laughing and, with a smile on my face, but also, with pride at the same time, because I will say once you finish it, it is the most amazing feeling in the world. So I really had to recall everything in my life, my childhood, being a Mexican American in being a Mexican American, trying to make it in an entertainment industry when I was 12 years old, that you didn't see a lot of us out there. That was incredibly discouraging. That was so tough to be in the room of, an audition and to see nobody look like me. And I was like the only Latin girl, or me and another girl out of like so many people, groups of people, like 50 people in the room. And that struck at my confidence. And it was hard, feeling in a way like, maybe, do I have a chance here? Do I have a chance at the industry? And I was so grateful to grow up with my heroes like Selena and Shakira and J-Lo to look up to, because they were there, they made such a tremendous, beautiful impact on our industry, and they made their dreams come true. Gloria Estefan. But, at the time it wasn't, you didn't have this, I'm so sorry, I'm losing my words. You didn't have...
It was like Lizzie McGuire on Disney, like when you were growing up. Like,
I love Lizzie McGuire!
No. But I just mean like...
she was the first song I sang ever performed.
That was part in your books that like made me want to cry, because I was like, I know what the Oakwoods is, which is this apartment building.
I stayed at the Oakwood, 12 years old with my mom.
And like to hear you say like, I know what that time was. So you're like early 2000s to mid 2000s. You have these huge shows, and the way you describe yourself, I'm quoting you in your book, you were this like little brown girl surrounded by, going to castings for Lizzie and all this stuff.
It was hard, and especially because my mom would take me to Ross, to get my clothes, which I pride myself because Ross has some cute clothes, okay? And my mom had scoliosis. She still has it. Guys, you just got to read my book. But she was dealing with a lot of pain, so for her to just get up and get moving was a miracle every day.
Were kids, did you try and make friends?
I was gonna say I tried to make friends, and everybody was dressed in the nines. They were in movies, they were in commercials, they were the cool kids, and here I was, this kind of odd kid, odd kid out who didn't look like everybody else. And I tried to make friends, and they wouldn't be friends with me. I wasn't cool enough, and I don't think you understand how hard that is as a 12-year-old with a dream. I came from San Antonio. I was going to LA, and there's such a story here, guys, of how that even happened. And again, please read my book for all the details. But you know, I was just like wide-eyed, and I had rose-colored glasses on, and then I come to LA, and you know, LA is not a fair place, especially in the entertainment industry, and trying to make friends, going on auditions. I did get callbacks, which was awesome, and my mom said that like I was so close to booking the roles. And I would get callbacks, which was so awesome.
Were there any big shows that you got callbacks for?
There was a few movies. I remember there was this one, oh my gosh, with Wedding Crashers.
Really?
No. Who's the actor? In
Adam
Wedding?
Sandler?
No.
No?
You love Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. It was some Vince Vaughn movie, and that was so cool. I remember that. I remember a musical called 13 I got called back for. Those moments were super exciting, but I never got, you know, the actual role. I never landed the role. And that was really hard, you know, and I felt there was not representation at that time as it is now. And that's why I'm so darn thankful to be living in this time, because there's representation happening in so many beautiful ways in our industry. And like, it's just crazy to see, because guys, I was there when it wasn't. And it was devastating to, you know, lose out on roles and to not, you know, book anything. That was so hard. And I felt like, you know, it was awful, but man, now we've come such a long way. And seriously, as someone who lived that time to now, it is unbelievable to see. And it really is beautiful. You know what? My mom would always, like, we were never ashamed of who we were. We were always proud of our culture, of our heritage, of who we were. Man, that was such a blessing to grow up with. You know, my mom was always proud. My family, living and growing up, being born and raised in San Antonio, we have this rich love and celebration for our culture. And you can, again, like, read about that in the book. We have holidays and parades that celebrate who we are, and oh my gosh, it is one of the best places to grow up, in my opinion. It's very special. And you know, that really helped to, you know, in those hard moments, to not lose that confidence and to not lose that hope, and to always say, you know what, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of where I come from, and one day the world's gonna see. And to be here, honestly, is pretty beautiful to me. And I hope I can somehow be a voice or inspire, you know, another young Latina to go and reach her dreams, or another little boy who's wanting to be a singer. That is my hope. If I can do it, guys, you can too. I'm here to just encourage everybody and to pass on that light.
You're always great with those. I mean, I get emails every day from, you know, people who are just trying to make it, and just, you know, and I, even though like, hey, I need management, or I'm a songwriter, and I always try, and you're so good at this with these people who most people wouldn't give the time of day, but like, because that's like a little you. I always try and reply, and I know you always do too, and just say, listen, like, even I wish I could help you. I'm like, I don't even do that, but don't give up. Just keep going. And that's
Amen.
like your book. I loved your book. And I know how hard it was, because I was right there. I think I told you too. Ben, you might have to cut this, but I was like, Allie, if I do another book with you, it better be a big check, because that was a lot of work.
Yes,
I was like, it better be like $3 million if I gotta go through that again.
Okay, the moral of the story is, guys, writing the book is so hard. You have to recall every memory. You have to go back to places you don't want to go. You know, for me also, some very, very difficult moments we're talking about, you know, my dearest loved ones that have passed away, that I've lost. It's very hard. But the most rewarding thing was honoring them in my book and showing people how faith can move mountains and how miracles can happen. They're real. This is not something that you just makeup. You know, I've seen it before my own eyes. That is the best part. And I have been changed from what I've seen. You know, for example, I write about in my book about how my grandpa, who we call Dada, my mom and him did not have a relationship growing up. For reasons that, you know, my mom doesn't like to talk about. But in his last 2 weeks of life, they reconciled. And I didn't think that would ever happen. I don't think any of us did. And that was a miracle. And they made peace before he passed away. And I think that gift, it is a gift that goes beyond words. And it's something that changed me and changed my heart. And so I just want to encourage someone out there that, again, miracles happen and are real, and God loves you. And one of my favorite sayings, one of my favorite words in the whole world is believe. And I have this ring right here with me that my mom gave me. It's been my word since I was a child. I believe in miracles. And I just believe in God because he's shown up in ways that I just never thought were possible.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love the book. I know it's, you know, something you can have forever. And
yes,
you know,
it is. And it's, sorry, continue.
No, it is. And just talking about your grandpa, you know, I had the opportunity to meet him. Like, I know, like, what a, you know, look, you came from a family that came from absolutely nothing. I mean, you know, you always point out the type of car he drove when you see it on the road. I mean, he was driving, selling ice cream, you know, in a truck. And look at you now.
My
like,
dada.
he's proud of you. I think that's awesome.
My grandpa
Yeah.
would sell ice cream in a truck. Not my dad.
No, not Jerry. God, no.
Dad
Jerry would eat
be
all the ice
awesome
cream in
at
the truck.
that.
He actually should.
He'd lose the ice cream.
I sent them an article. There's this guy building crazy food trucks in San Antonio. I'm like, oh, Jerry's going to want to get on this business. But anyway, yeah, that book's going to change people's lives forever.
Thank
you worked
you so
hard.
much.
And you had to
Yes.
kind of rush through it. We were never supposed to drop
Oh,
it.
by the way, and if it wasn't for quarantine, I would have never finished my book. And that was a lifelong blessing for me and my family to write that book, to finish it. And the moral of the story is, yes, it is one of the most challenging, difficult things you'll ever do, writing a book, but it is worth it beyond words, and something you can stand behind and be proud of for the rest of your life, and something that will live on beyond your life for lifetimes and generations. So if anybody out there wants to write a book, do it.
And to the fans, I mean, it was unfortunate because of COVID. We would, if the world was open, we would have had you at every Barnes and Noble from Chicago to New York.
I know.
So we're gonna do all that. I'm gonna make sure, you know, with HarperCollins, they want to do it. It's just
Please, let's do a redo.
we're gonna
2021.
redo it and still get you out there.
We deserve to know what we're putting in our bodies and why, especially when it comes to something we take every day. Ritual's clean, vegan-friendly multivitamin is formulated with high-quality nutrients in bioavailable forms that your body can actually use. What you won't find: sugars, GMOs, major allergens, synthetic fillers, and artificial colorants. Plus, the fresh taste and delayed release capsule design make taking your vitamins easy. I ordered their women's multivitamin, and it's always delivered to me once a month. I always forget to pick up my vitamins when I go grocery shopping, and now I don't have to worry. The tabs are minty and fresh, and there are 9 nutrients to fill in any gaps that you may have nutritionally. Ritual is made traceable. You'll always know what nutrients you're taking and where they come from, thanks to Ritual's one-of-a-kind visible supply chain. Ritual makes healthy habits easy. Your multivitamins are delivered to your door every month with free shipping, always. You can start, snooze, or cancel your subscription anytime. And if you don't love Ritual in your first month, they'll refund your first order. Get key nutrients without the nonsense. Ritual is offering my listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/Allie to start your ritual today. That's ritual.com/Allie. Be sure to use my code ALLY at ritual.com/ALLY.
Broadway's coming back, they announced today.
I know. Wow. Guys, what's crazy is when I was on X Factor, when I did my audition, and my very first audition, which that it's in the book. I didn't love my audition. I loved what it was in person, but the way they edited it was just awful. But anyways, I don't know if I think they did put this on TV, but basically, so after, I auditioned, I got feedback from the judges, and Brittany told me, she's like, I really could see you on Broadway, and that is one of my bucket list dreams. Of course, music and pop music and all the types of music that I do is my number one, but that is something that is in my heart, to be on Broadway one day, maybe as a guest, to be in a musical one day, in a film, in a musical film musical, in a musical. And man, it's just amazing to know that Broadway is coming back September 2021. That's crazy to me. I've seen some of my favorite shows, from, of course, Wicked to Jersey Boys to To Kill a Mockingbird. That's not a musical, but oh my gosh, it's one of the most just profound and heart-wrenching plays I've ever seen. To what else did we see on Broadway? There's so much.
Well, Jersey Boys was fun because the cast took us backstage.
That was awesome.
We had to drop the Allie Brooke card at the time, but we got to go back there. They gave us like a whole tour of the set. Obviously, the actors were so nice. And then, just to remember, I'm thinking about their grind. Those Broadway actors, they're on the subway. That's a hustle. They're doing, what is
hustle.
It's 6 days a week, but I think 9 shows a week because they have the matinee.
That is their life. They live and breathe Broadway. They have the utmost discipline for their art and their craft, vocally, with their physically. Oh my gosh, mentally, they live and breathe it. Oh my gosh, they're extraordinary beings. And I have the utmost respect for Broadway actors and singers, because choreographers, dancers, too, we got to shout them out.
Well, you took me to Wicked.
They're incredible.
I
did, right?
Yeah, you took me to Wicked.
It's beautiful, right? Oh my gosh, that whole moral of that story. I love shows or films with meaning and with a deeper meaning, with a message. And that one was,
you showed me that song, Define Gravity.
Of course, I would sing it right now, but gravity. I could sing it, but I'm gonna blow your mic, so I don't want to sing it right now. But one day I will. I'll have to do it on TikTok or something. So follow me on TikTok at Allie Brooke. Follow me everywhere, y'all. At Allie Brooke, it's the same. But yes, I just love Broadway, and I've missed it. And there's so many shows that I've been dying to see too, like The Phantom of the Opera, The Lion King. There's so many new ones too that I've been wanting to see. The Book of Mormon, I heard, is fantastic. Also, what's that other one? Dear Evan Hansen. Oh my gosh. So much. So
it's nice to see things opening up, especially for New York. That's important for our business.
Oh, I love New York. So right before COVID hit, I was on my very first headlining solo tour, which was beyond a dream come true. And of course, it premiered in March. And, that was during the pandemic. Thank God I was able to do 4 shows under my belt. And y'all could see it. I dare one of y'all to Google Allie Brooke Time to Shine Tour and watch it. And you could see what it was about. I would say my show was honestly a mixture of course, pop and, fun dancing choreography, but also a little bit of Broadway action in there. I love big choreography. I love creativity. I love sometimes having those glamorous, over-the-top moments, but that really kind of sprinkle in, how do you say, that have the most effect? You know, like a little goes a long way. Just being fabulous. I love
very theatrical.
those moments.
Like,
It was
we gotta
theatrical.
but we didn't even know. We were so deep into those.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, but not to cut you off, but I was going to say, I was about to do my first ever sold out show in New York. And then, of course, I never got to it because the pandemic hit. But thank God, here I am today. And things are opening up again today. So I hope we get to go out soon and perform for you guys because, my gosh, I've missed it. I've dreamt about it. I've had visions of it. The stage is my home. It's my everything. It is what fills me up. It is my electricity. I'm just getting like chills talking about it. That's my favorite place. So I can't wait to embrace that stage again one more time. I'm going to hug it. I'm going to kiss it. I'm going to just be washed in the glory of being back on that stage. Soon enough, guys. Soon enough. Yay, and you guys gonna have to all come out. What were you gonna say, Will?
Oh no, I was just, we were so deep into those tour rehearsals. We were in Miami in most of February. We didn't even know what COVID was. Like, we didn't have you were working
it was crazy
18-hour days. I was not even with you guys.
We didn't have any time to think or look
at
anything else besides
like even
my
after
show.
the Chicago show, like maybe we heard some rumblings, and then we didn't even it was on that off day in Buffalo, and me, you, and the dancers were chilling. We were like, oh man,
you're like, oh no,
maybe we make it to New York. Like, we were just like, man,
we were hoping for New York. We're like, can we just make it to New York?
Just make it to New York,
and we didn't.
It's sold out,
man,
media capital of the world,
guys. But when I go back to New York, y'all, woo! I know it is going to be sensational. I already know
that tour was lined up. We had. We were going to do, you had 2 Coachellas. I booked
Coachella. I booked Ultra.
Ultra with Afrojack was going to be crazy.
A massive private gig, something for iHeartRadio too. I was on my merry little way on what felt like a beautiful trajectory. And of course, the pandemic hit and was so devastating. But I'm here now and it's opening up again. And I'm so excited to look ahead, y'all. To look ahead. I'm grateful to just even be here. And I'm grateful to see that light at the end of the tunnel. Guys, it's here. It's real. And I can't wait to be reunited again and to hug you, to be on that stage, to sing for you, to dance for you, to perform for you, to surprise you, to make you laugh, to make you scream, to make you sing at the top of your lungs, to make you cry. It's going to be one of the biggest gifts, so I can't wait. And I'm so happy that you guys joined me today. And I have this, the Allie Brooke Show. Guys, do not worry. I know y'all keep blowing me up. You're like, where's new music? When's new music? I love to surprise y'all. Keep my lips sealed and to just drop stuff for you guys because that's how I roll. I love surprises, so therefore I love to surprise you guys. But I'm so excited in the meantime to have the ABO show. Not ABO. ABO is Allie Brooke Online, which is my fan page that you can go follow too. But I'm so happy to have my own show. And guys, we're going to have lots going on. There's going to be so much coming up. I'll be hanging out with lots of my friends here in studio. Man, we're going to have some fun times, some crazy moments. We're going to laugh. We're probably going to cry. And it's going to be awesome being able to talk to some of my favorite people in the whole world. So thank you guys so much for joining me on my very first episode of the Allie Brooke Show. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and check out my podcast on all other audio platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I hope you guys enjoyed today. Thank you for letting me be real and honest and vulnerable for you. Thank you guys for making me feel safe. And I hope you guys feel safe here with me too. And we're gonna have a blast. Mwah! Thank you guys. See you next time.